All right. What's up, people? Welcome to Kin Stretch with Steve. Today's going to be a hip focus class. I'm going to be using some blocks for some tools. All right, you're not going to need them. They just kind of make it easier to feel what's happening. I'm also actually going to grab a tennis ball for this first one. Steal it from Stella. We're going to start off with some hip cars. I'm going to place this on my back. Let's go that way. And we'll go this behind the knee. We're going to do some quadruped hip cars here. All right, I'm going to focus on not moving the lumbar spine. That's why the block is there. I'm also going to focus on not moving the knee. That's why the ball is there. I'm going to start into flexion, abduction, internal rotation, drive up to the ceiling, back adduction, flexion, reverse, one more. I did a lot of hip strength work on Monday and a long, intense run on Monday. And I need to work on some mobility of the hips now. So, keeping joints healthy so I can keep doing all the other stuff I want to do. And that's what Kin Stretch is. Supplemental to anything else that you want to do. Because it's focused tissue work. Other side, flexion, abduction, internal rotation, extension, adduction, flexion, reverse, and through this hip car, I have just made my decision on what hip movement I want to focus on. And it's going to be abduction. How did I make that decision? Because the hip car allows me to go through all of those, all the ranges of motion that the hip can go through. And I can pinpoint exactly where it feels tight or weak or anything like that. So we're going to focus on some external rotation and abduction today. And actually maybe some internal rotation to start. So let's do that first. We're going to do some pails, rails from bear sit, internal rotation. So for this, I want you to sit up against a wall. I'm going to elevate my butt a little bit. I'm going to try to elongate my spine. I think I have a hole in my crotch. Apologies. I have underwear on. We're all good. We're here. All right. And I'm going to see how this feels now. It's not going to work. It's too thick. I want a slight anterior tilt here. I've been working on movement from anterior tilt, hip movement from anterior tilt. So I wanted that, but I'm good here. All right. So I am in bear sit position with back support, sitting up nice and straight. We're going to do pails, rails, internal rotation for the right hip to start. So I'm going to internally rotate that right hip. And I'm going to lightly apply pressure to it. Oh, came in too far, started cramping. Also, remember the past few weeks I've been working on my knee stuff. Knee's feeling good, but I'm focused on keeping it internally rotated because I found out that that's what my knee needs to be able to do. So It's just a little extra layer there. I'm focused on my adjacent joint being in a specific position. You don't need to do that, but it can be helpful if you're getting up to a more advanced place in kin stretch. Alexa, set timer 2 minutes.
2 minutes, starting now.
So I'm trying to find this passive stretch in my hip. I want to make sure that my butt stays down on the pad. I want to make sure that I stay upright, nice tall spine. I can feel the stretch kind of happening right here. All right. Ideally, if I was in the gym, I'd have a weight down on this leg, like a sandbag. Oh, that works. I just have to make sure that I'm not losing any tension from that side. And giving yourself barriers to work on helps keep tension. All right. So again, hip internal rotation. I'm feeling this passive stretch. Pals contraction is going to be to rotate the leg back out so that it was to look like that leg. Rails contraction will be to try to get inner thigh more internally rotated towards the ground. Right now, just passive stretch. As you can see, I'm making a little bit of progress. The angle of your bear sit is going to affect this. The angle of your spine is going to affect this. If you try to go into more anterior tilt, you'll probably feel more hip stuff going on. That's why it's important to get the setup right and try to keep up straight. Alexa, how much time left?
You have 20 seconds left on your 2-minute timer.
Our pals rails is going to be low intensity ramping up to highest intensity possible today. All right. Focus on activating the stretched tissue. Alexa, cancel timer.
2-minute timer canceled.
Here we go. Pals contraction. Ready? Go. Start lightly ramping up the contraction of that tissue to externally rotate the femur up into these hands. Slowly ramp it up. Create tension elsewhere in the body. Help you target that tissue. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and 4. Rails contraction, 2, go. Try to rotate more, squeeze those inner thigh muscles, squeeze those internal rotators here. Try to make that cramp a little bit. Oh, yeah, baby, that's it. 20. Right in there is firing. Feel all this pulling me across. Sartorius. 5, 4, 3, 2, relax. Go into that passive stretch and help promote that internal rotation. Breathe. We'll hold it here. And let's slowly come out of that. Oh, yeah. All right. I want to do a passive range lift off right after that for hip internal rotation. So, setup of choice is going to be 90-90. Here, I'm actually going to elevate this left butt cheek. Give me a little bit more room to work. Put it right there. All right. Back hip, my right hip is now in internal rotation. I'm going to find a good angle to keep my torso upright. If you need to elevate your hip, that's fine. And we are just going to try to rotate inward this hip to help to try to lift that foot off the ground. All right. I might need to come here. Give me a little bit more space. In 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly put down. So basically, I'm at my end range of internal rotation strength. I am internally rotating the femur. My foot glides up off the ground. I'm trying to brace and stabilize all the other areas of my body. And lift. Three, 2, 1. Back down. Try to come a little bit more up right here. And lift. 1. If you notice that your foot's getting way up here, elevate your foot to start so you're just working that end range. All right, elevate up on a couch, a pillow, whatever. All right, but we're just trying to do a passive range lift off. So where's the passive position the joint can go? Lift it off from there. All right, 2 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to try to keep this side of my torso more elongated. I'm going to lean out this way a little bit. And lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 2. Good. Ooh. Man, my head's feeling better already. All right. Let's go do the other side. Pedals, rails, internal rotation, and then we'll go into our passive range lift off for internal rotation. All right, let's get set up in our bear sit. That's gonna go here. That was definitely the harder side for me. All right, doesn't mean it's the more or less mobile side. Just means harder. Alexa, set timer 2 minutes.
2 minutes, starting now.
Finding that passive stretch. If you have kind of a sandbag or something heavy to put on your inner thigh to help stabilize that, that would be helpful. I'm just going to internally stabilize it as best as I can. You know, that's not necessarily wrong. It takes focus to stabilize something, so it takes away from my focus from here. But hey, COVID times, we're going to make do. Breathe, hold. Keep trying to sink deeper into that hip joint. Trying to keep that left butt cheek firmly on the ground. This is where a weight here pulling my butt down would help. Also trying to keep my knee a little bit internally rotated. Even though this isn't the problem side, I do have mobility issues with internal rotation in the knee on this side too. So that's just something that I'm doing for myself, how you can adjust adjacent joint angles to work on that even when you're not too focused on it. Pals contraction. Rotate the leg back to that way so that it looks like that. Rails contraction. I don't know what Stella just did. She made a weird hiccup noise. She's sleeping. Rails contraction. Rotate this more towards the ground. Alexa, how much time left?
You have 10 seconds left on your 2-minute timer.
Alexa, cancel timer.
2-minute timer canceled.
Here we go. Pals contraction. Ready, go. Be precise. Start off light. Start ramping your way up. Stella is making all kinds of noise. Firing the correct tissue to externally rotate the hip. Feel this all in that left hip, all in the hips, all in the hips. Push. Ramp up your safest, greatest pressure today. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and rails. Get this more internally rotated. Keep that butt down. You can promote it a little bit, just some manual guidance like that. Give it feedback on what you're trying to do. A little cramp in here. I'm just going to press down on it. Silence that. You can press down on a crampy area to help it stay a little relaxed. That muscle spindle's going. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Hold it there. Passive stretch. Muscle spindle. When that goes haywire, that'll contract the muscle cells to cramp up a little bit when it's confused about the length of the muscle. It's a little organ, sensory organ inside the muscle. Let's rotate out of that. Ooh, yeah. All right. If you feel like you're getting knee pain there, try adjusting the angles of your knee. It also might be that you're pushing too far into a range of motion that your hip is not ready for, so the knee is compensating a little bit. All right. So that means just back off your stretch a little bit. All right. Left leg's the back leg. That's now the leg that we're working on. There we go. Ready? And lift off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Man, that leg's heavy. And lift off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. Back down. A little bit slower. 5, 4, 3, 2, 3. 5, 4, 3, 2, 4. One more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 5. Whew. Just stand up and shake those hips out. Internal rotation. Complete. Let's go into an external rotation stretch. And then we'll get into abduction. So, external rotation stretch. This has become a new favorite of mine, especially for people with limited hip mobility, like myself. Trust me, I don't have the most mobile hips. I guess for a big guy, I do. But definitely not compared to a lot of the people I work with even. All right. So feet up on a couch or on a wall. We are going to make sure that we're in neutral spine. I like to go, again, slight anterior pelvic tilt, which is something I've been working on, but definitely neutral spine. I don't want you to round out the lumbar spine. All right, so don't press it into the mat. Start with your knees at 90 or a little bit wider than that. All right, make sure whatever you're pushing on is not going to move. We're going to fold that leg over, and we're going to search for a stretch in the outer part of that hip by putting the foot or ankle right there, right on top of that thigh, breathing, making sure our butt stayed even and I didn't rotate. One of the biggest things you'll see is that we rotate down this way. Don't let that happen. Feel 2 pressure points on your butt firmly into the ground. I'm also going to kind of pull out that left knee a little bit and find a stretch here. And breathe. Alexa, set timer 2 minutes.
2 minutes, starting now.
Should we go on the stretch kind of down here around the outside and back up just a little bit. I want my stretch a little bit higher in my glute here. So I'm going to go there. That's better. All right, this is kind of confusing because it's a compound hip movement. It's flexion and external rotation that we're stretching. So I want to do PALS rails into, PALS will be extension and internal rotation. Rails will be more flexion, more external rotation. So PALS is going to be rotating the femur back to neutral, so that looks like this, and rotating the legs so that it would go back to the couch. All right, that would be the PALS contraction. Rails contraction would be to try to bring this part of my shin closer towards my face by rotating the femur and pulling it, the whole unit, closer to my face. All right, just keep holding that stretch right in the glute. That's nice. Oh, love it. If you're feeling any knee pain, just back off the stretch a little bit. This right hand is going to be a pivot point and a guide on my contractions, my isometric contractions. Alexa, how much time left?
You have 10 seconds left on your 2-minute timer.
Alexa, cancel timer.
2-minute timer canceled.
Ready? Let's start off lightly. PALS contraction. Keep ramping it up. Keep ramping it up. Remember, targeting the stretched tissue right here to contract. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and rails. 10. Nope, 20. I lied. Trying to pull it towards the face, rotate that femur. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go back into that stretch. So sometimes when my hip externally rotates, that knee goes with it. So I'm kind of focused on doing a slight internal rotation of the knee during all of that. Again, that is a personal thing that I've been working on, where my knee will sometimes externally rotate. While my hip does, I should be able to externally rotate the hip while internally rotating the knee. Both are viable movement options. And we're going to come out of that. Ooh, straighten that out for a second. And then we're going to do a passive range lift off again. So how are we going to do a passive range lift off? We're going to scooch back so that I find a position where I can be passively but also lift it off. So maybe there. What I'm going to try to do is pull and externally rotate. Ready? Go. 3, 2, 1. I didn't love that because as I pulled, I actually internally rotated. So I'm going to back up a little bit more. And lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That was better. Put this foot down here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. Started using my back there. Gonna readjust. Focus on the tissue I want to activate in here. Go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 3. Back up a little bit more. Get fatigued. Change that angle. And go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 4. Good. That was a good one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 5. So look at this hip angle. Right? I'm just being true to what my hip can do. I can flex a little bit and rotate a little bit from there. As soon as I get up here, I can't rotate for jack shit. So I don't work there. All right? It's kind of defeating the purpose. Don't be afraid to change your hip angle. Oh. Okay, let's stand up, shake it out, grab a quick sip of water, and then we'll come back and do the other side. All right. Pails rails first. So I'm going to find the stretch in the back part of the glutes. It might be different on this side. That's okay. Definitely easier for me to find it. Found it right away, right there. That's where I want to be. Alexa, start timer, 2 minutes.
2 minutes, starting now.
Breathing, relaxing. As I get a little looser, I can probably scooch a little bit closer. Not a COVID cough. If I really tilt into anterior pelvic tilt, that stretches it even more. Remember, passive stretch, just spending time in this position, is important to eventually being able to actively control this position. Doing the isometrics will help teach active control of the area. Isometrics make you really strong right at that angle that you're training. They've been used in strength training for a long time. Breathe, feel that stretch. Alexa, stop timer. Ooh. Passive stretching and breathing makes me tired. That is kind of the point of the passive stretch, so to relax the nervous system while you're there. So if you start yawning, that's a good thing. All right. At pelvis contraction, activation of stretch tissue. Try to rotate the femur back so it looks like this one, and try to extend the hip a little bit. Ready? Go. Activate that stretch tissue. I'm also going to internally rotate my knee actively. Try and stabilize that there because I have a tendency to overactivate external rotation of the knee. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and pails. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. So during rails, I'm trying to pull towards. After this, we'll scooch back and go right into our passive range liftoff. I think I'm going to be okay, just a little bit further. All right, let's do our passive range liftoff. Try to pull this way and rotate the femur. Ready? Go. No, gotta back up. There it is. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I'm trying not to move around the spine. That'll be inside onto your hip, or your hip's actually doing the work. 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. 5, 4, 3, 2, 3. 5, 4, 3, 2, 4. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 5. Oof. All right. Nice. Let's shake that out. And then we'll get into our last thing, which is going to be some pails and rails for hip abduction. All right. God, hip feels great right now. And I was totally sore and stuff this morning before I started this. So let's go hip abduction. We're going to go some straight legs here. So let's start with the right side. We're going to go foot out. And we'll find a stretch in the inner thighs. All right. Whew. This stuff. Do some axial rotations here just to feel what's happening in that hip. See how I'm lifting the foot, just rolling that hip backwards and forward, backwards, forward, just to feel what's going on. I think I want to stretch it right here. I'm going to bring this leg in. I'm going to try to keep my pelvis straight rather than flopped or rotate it. I think I got to be more up for that. Alexa, set timer 2 minutes.
2 minutes, starting now.
Oh man, this is a tough position to hold already. I think this is going to be my best bet to stretch the tissue I want to stretch. I'm stretching tissue in here. Now, if you do some pelvic tilts or rock backward and forward, you're going to feel different tissue being stretched. Choose where you feel like it needs to be the most stretch. And for me, it's here. I need to be an anterior tilt for it. Then I'm going to do some pails, rails from here. Pails is to push the foot down into the floor. Rails is to attempt to lift the foot off of the floor or to spread wider. Oh, this stretch sucks. Breathe. Focus. Every exhale, I'm going deeper into APT. And locking out that knee more and more. Alexa, how much time left?
You have 10 seconds left on your 2-minute timer.
Alexa, cancel timer.
2-minute timer canceled.
Pals contraction, pushing the foot down into the ground. Go. Activate that stretched tissue. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and rails. Squeeze that out of that. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, rest, passive stretch. Oh man, I think I only got 15 seconds here, folks. And rest. Oh, oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Oh, jeez. Oh, I'm just gonna come back into this knees tuck position. This will just feel good. Oh, wow, man. Oh, just having a conversation with the hips today. That one was intense. That was long. That was real long. But I hit the exact spot out here with my rails contraction that I really wanted to. Just hard work, consistency, and lots of intensity today, at least. All right. When you're doing your pals rails, you don't always have to ramp up to 100% contraction. You can ramp up to lower amounts of contraction based off of what your programming is for that day. So I don't always do pals rails to 100%. Sometimes it's lighter. Depends on what I'm looking for here. All right. Sometimes my times change too on how long I'm holding pals rails. Okay. All right. Here we go. Other leg. All right. See if I get some anterior tilt, pelvis even. I feel that. Alexa, set timer 2 minutes.
2 minutes, starting now.
Trying to prevent that left hip from coming forward. I can do that by kind of crunching my right side. Breathing, keep trying to find the stretch. Pals contraction, push down into the floor, rails contraction, try to lift up off the floor. passive stretch is just relaxed, calm breathing. Alexa, how much time left?
You have 20 seconds left on your 2-minute timer.
Oh, those 2 minutes go slow when you're in an intense stretch. That's for sure. Alexa, cancel timer.
2-minute timer canceled.
All right, people, pals, contraction, ready, go. Squeeze and push down. Squeeze and push down. Oh, this hip's much easier. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and rails. There it is. 10, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Ooh, slide a little deeper into that. "15 seconds and then we'll come out of this. This is big time. Rest. Oh, man. Oh. Oh, man. Oh, jeez. God. Oh. Why put your hips through so much stress and pain? Well, because I think during normal workouts they take more of a beating, and now this is just focus on them to slowly become stronger, keep being able to do what I'm asking them to do, and keep them strong and healthy over time. Hopefully this prevents any chronic issues down the line with the hips. Let's shake it off and grab a quick sip. And I think that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for joining me. I hope your hips feel great tomorrow. Let me know.